Hey guys, Phopos here, and this is my guide for top playing Lissandra. I'm trying a new format for this guide in hopes to make it a bit more clear and concise, so feel free to leave me constructive criticism down below. So with that said, let's begin. Lissandra is currently underrated. Her kit allows for her to bully almost every melee top laner. Ring of Frost and Glacial Path make her extremely hard to gank, alongside her ultimate Frozen Tome giving her so much roam and carry potential. I personally think she's great for both solo queue and team play. And as a final note, since hardly anyone plays her, your opponent will most likely not be wise to how much control and damage her kit offers. In most games you'll easily snatch up a kill at level 6 as your foe won't be expecting the incoming burst. So there are 3 rune pages I use for Lissandra. The most common choice is a simple mix of magic damage and defense, opting for magic pen reds, armor yellows, magic resistance blues and AP quints. Alternative pages to this change up the glyphs to either magic resistance per level or ability power per level. As for masteries, I recommend taking 21 points in the offensive tree and 9 points in the defensive tree. You can see that I take 2 points in Butcher and 2 points in Brute Force, which might seem strange for an AP top laner. I do this to simply aid with last hitting, and Brute Force adds a tiny bit more damage to your auto attack trades. As for skill order, prioritize Ice Shard over Ring of Frost and then maxing Glacial Path last. You'll max Ice Shard first as this is your main spammable ability to either push out the minion wave or poke down your opponent. Ring of Frost takes priority over Glacial Path as per level the root duration increases, and during those early teamfights this ability puts out a nice chunk of AoE damage. Finally, Glacial Path is left until last as you're hardly going to use this ability more than once in a skirmish. It should mainly be used as an initiation tool or an escape tool. For itemization you have 2 starting options. For the majority of lanes I will take Flask, 2 health potions and a ward. This is because it will allow you to safely farm the lane and have vision of river in case of the enemy jungler comes for an early gank. In my opinion, Lissandra has hardly any potential to fight multiple opponents until level 6, so against junglers like Lissandra, I would recommend starting with a ward always. Just as a quick reminder, to grab that second health potion you'll have to return to base at 1 minute 30. Your second option is a Doran's Ring and 2 health potions. Only take this in lanes where the enemy has no gap closer, in example Singed, or if the enemy jungler is playing someone like Eve or Shaco, as a sight ward will probably not be that beneficial. For mid game you should aim to grab a couple of Doran's Rings and progress towards a Zhonya's Hourglass. Zhonya's is the optimal item for Lissandra. It will allow for you to engage fights, pin down a key target with Frozen Tome, and then Zhonya's to avoid being nuked. If you're against an AP top laner, you can consider a Negatron Cloak to later build into an Abyssal. However, this will set you behind on your Zhonya's, and in most cases isn't really worth it. As for your main build, optimize your build for magic penetration. Liandry's Torment synergizes completely with Lissandra's abilities. The burn passive will be applied to all enemies caught in your Ice Shard, Ring of Frost and Frozen Tome AoE. Next up is Abyssal, which again complements Lissandra's kit. The aura from this item should always be in effect on your targets as Lissandra is a relatively close range mage. This aura will increase your damage output, on top of the 45 magic resistance will help prevent you from being blown up during a teamfight. Finally round off your build with a Void Staff for even more magic penetration, and a Deathfire Grasp to further increase your kill potential. In the lane phase as Lissandra, I tried to play passively and farm up until level 6. Hold on to Glacial Path to be used solely as a free flash. This ability allows for you to escape some of the stickiest of situations, so don't use it to poke in the early game. Equally during the lane phase, I very rarely use Ring of Frost for any other purpose than disengaging. If you spam either of these abilities, you'll have mana issues and become vulnerable to ganks. Also don't forget to make use of your passive Iceborne and poke your foe with that free Ice Shard every 18 seconds, alongside auto attacking them in between last hitting. I usually will take Flash and Teleport for my summoner spells as I intend to split push and roam. 2 Ice Shards will usually be enough to clear a minion wave, and roaming bot at level 6 will often result in a free kill or 2. As for teamfighting, there are 2 ways to play Lissandra. You can choose to protect your carry or kill the enemy carry depending on how the game has played out. Let's say your Vayne is snowballed, it will probably be better to peel her with your CC than diving into the enemy backline. Equally, if you've had a great lane phase and picked up your Zhonya's, you can dive into the enemy team and pin down their strongest member. Your playstyle should always be up for change depending on the context of the game, and Lissandra is great due to how her skills allow for her to be useful regardless of how the game is playing out. Always try to position so that your Ice Shard can splash onto as many targets as possible to maximise your damage output. And finally, if you don't know how to correctly smartcast self-cast, I recommend you check out my modifier video in the description, as being able to quickly self-cast your ultimate as Lissandra can be the difference between life or death. Thanks for watching guys, I hope I've inspired some of you to go play Lissandra. Feel free to leave me a like down below, or subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'll be reading the comments, so if you'd like to see more content like this, please let me know, and as always, until next time guys, take care.